A very good morning to one and all joined here. And I take this pleasure for hosting us today, our special guest from University of Ottawa, Professor Fremont, President, University of Ottawa. With us today, Professor Sani Aya, Vice President, University of Ottawa, International and Francophonie. So we extend our warm welcome to you and thank you so much for visiting Amity University, Mumbai today. Along with it, I would like to formally welcome our Honorable Vice Chancellor, Sir, Dr. A.W. Santosh Kumar, Sir, our Dean Academics, Dr. Shrikant Charate, Dr. Hira Vyas, our Registrar, Sir, Dr. Gautam Gauli is a Dean Student Welfare at Amity University, Mumbai, and Dr. Bhavna Sharma, Nodal Officer International Program at Amity University, Mumbai. Along with me, Dr. Sagar Bharge, who is Research Coordinator at Amity University, Mumbai. I'm even delighted to welcome our university delegates who had joined us today virtually from Noida campus. Along with that, Dr. Gurinder Sir, who has joined in today virtually from Toronto. I welcome you, sir, today, and thank you so much for joining us late night. Professor Bhavna Kumar, who is Vice President RBEF, who has joined us in this meeting from Amity University, Uttar Pradesh. We are also delighted to welcome Dr. Manoj Sharma, who is Director IAD, International Affairs Division of Amity University, Uttar Pradesh. So thank you so much for joining us. I would also like to mention here that we have FPO office, our respected Honorable Founder President office, who had joined us. I could see them also joining in today virtually. We welcome you today in this very important meeting we are hosting. Thank you so much all, and let's take up the discussion forward by inviting Dr. A.W. Santosh Kumar, Sir, Honorable Vice Chancellor, Sir, to formally welcome our guest with the traditional way of our Indian custom. Sir, I take this opportunity to help us with that.
This is a traditional way of welcoming Garland.
Okay. So, we'll put a bit of color in my wine. Wow.
Very good. Yeah. Please take your seat.
We'll send a picture of that to your office.
Go ahead. And then finally, we'll take with all the dignitaries.
Yes, of course. Thank you so much.
Yes, it is.
Thank you.
Take that out.
Okay.
You could help them.
I will feel lighter. Okay. Thank you.
Thank you very much.
Very much.
I would like to invite Dr. Aruni Wilson Santosh Kumar, Sir, Honorable Vice Chancellor, Amity University, Mumbai, to formally welcome our guest. Sir, Dr. Aruni Wilson Santosh Kumar is the Vice Chancellor, Amity University, Mumbai, has a total experience of 35 years in academics and administrative field. He has held the post of Vice Chancellor for the period of 5 years in two of the highly ranked NAC A+ ARIA 4th nationwide universities in India. Earlier, he worked in the United States for the period of more than 16 years, and he has held various positions such as Dean Academic Affairs, Dean Accreditation, and Professor of Microbiology and Global Health in two universities of California, USA. Sir has also served as a Director of Center of Genomics at Loma Linda University, USA. He has brought in the extramural funding NIH, NIA, AID, NIH, NIDCR, R01 and R21 to the tune of 5.8 billion US dollars. During his administrative assignment, he was extremely instrumental in establishing many institutions and center of excellence in research and innovation. During his tenure as dean, he was awarded the President's Medal for the Best Researcher in 2005. And National Institute of Health Researchers Award, AAMC Award of Recognition in Medical Microbiology. He completed his PhD from All India Institute of Medical Sciences, New Delhi, in the field of medical microbiology. and infectious disease, and had further completed his postdoctoral fellowship from 3 different institutions in USA and in one fellowship from University of California, Davis, USA, National Institute of Health, NIH, USA. The area is human microbiome. J. Priag Venter Institute, USA, area human metabolomics. National Cancer Center of Singapore, area genomics and HapMap. His research performance indices are H-index 34, I-10 70, and citations are more than 5,000. He also has, to his credit, a total of 187 peer-reviewed research articles. He is currently giving his services as an editor and editorial board of highly impact peer-reviewed journals such as ASM journals, Frontier Infectious Disease, Frontier Medicines, PLOS1, and Microbiology, Molecular Microbiology. What else, sir? I should have spoken more about that. I would request our Honorable Vice Chancellor, sir, to please welcome our guest today.
Good morning, everyone. It's indeed a pleasure that we have with us the chief guest of this hour, Professor Jacques Fremont and Professor Yaya, who have been a well-accomplished people in the field of academia. It doesn't need us to say that it has been attached to their CV. I know that it is still prolonged. And one of the important things is that these two people are great people who have been in association with Amity, and they are here to take things forward, and we look forward to many fruitful deliberations. And I know that a lot of deliberations have already happened there at Noida, and we are indeed very happy and proud that you have been honored with honors CASA by our president, founder president Ashok Chavanji. And we are indeed very happy to invite you for this campus, and these 3 hours of the deliberations will get us to know each other, and we look forward to much more in the future. I also would welcome Dr. Guriter Singh, who has been taking a time out from Canada, time and off around the globe. I think he's serving Amity. Hats up to you, Dr. Guriter, and all the group members of Dr. Guriter team who's taking care of this deliberations as well. Thank you very much.
Thank you.
Thank you so much, sir, for your wonderful welcome. I would take this opportunity now to request our Dr. Gurinder Singh, sir, who is a Group Vice Chancellor, who had joined us today from Toronto, Canada, to give a special address. Let me take a minute to talk on about Gurinder Sir's. I'm sure we all know about it, but it would be my honor to present before you Dr. Gurinder Sir's profile. Professor Dr. Gurinder Singh, Group Vice Chancellor, Amity Universities. He is Director General, Amity Group of Institution, and Vice Chairman, Global Foundation for Learning Excellence. Has an extensive experience of more than 25 years in institutional building, teaching, consultancy, research, and industry. A renowned scholar and academician in the area of international business. He holds a prestigious doctorate in the area along with a postgraduate degree from Indian Institute of Foreign Trade, where he illustratively topped with 7 merits. He holds the distinction of being the youngest founder pro-vice chancellor of Amity University for 2 terms, the founder director general of Amity International Business School, and the founder CEO of Association of International Business School, London. He has been instrumental in establishing various Amity campuses abroad, including at London, USA, Singapore, Mauritius, Australia, Tashkent, and other parts of the world. To understand the dynamics of industry, Dr. Singh.
Dr. Sagar, I think that everyone knows me, and our friends. We know each other from quite long. But thank you so very much for introducing. It's my privilege.
Yes.
Yeah, thank you so much. It's my privilege, Professor Fremont and Professor Yaya, to once again welcome you on behalf of our very respected founder president, Dr. Ashok Chauhan, and on behalf of our chancellors, Dr. Atul Chauhan and Chancellor Dr. Asim Chauhan, and on behalf of our all very learned Vice Chancellors, especially the Vice Chancellor of Amity University Mumbai, Dr. Santosh Kumar, who has just spoken now, and the basic purpose of this meeting is to understand, for having a very fruitful marriage, it is essential that both the parties should understand each other. So we are in a courtship period where we are trying to understand the culture of both the universities. So we are really very privileged that President Fremont and Professor Yaya, who are not only the known scholars, great academic leaders, but also one of the most respected names in the academics. They, on our very special request, they came to India to understand that how MIT universities worldwide have been able to propagate the doctrine of knowledge. And today they are in Mumbai. A day back, they were in Noida. We had very fruitful and positive talks. We are looking at developing various programs with them, including our 3-continent program, where the students will be given from this year an option to do a 3-month program in Canada. Right now, we are having an option to the students where they are doing first part of the program in India, second part of the program in London, and third part of the program in USA. But from this year, we will be able to offer this program in Canada also. And that's what we have been able to discuss and arrive at a conclusion. The second initiative which we are discussing with the University of Ottawa is study abroad program, where the students can go for the duration of 5 to 6 weeks at Ottawa. And idea is that when the students are doing 3-continent program, and then they are doing study abroad program, they become the brand ambassadors of both the universities, and then they can come back and the faculty members who are going to Canada along with the students, they can explore various possibilities of research. Vice Chancellor Professor Fremont, you can see that the kind of research MIT has been able to do. In Noida, you must have seen that our faculties, they have not only filed 1,700 patents, but you can very well see the Vice Chancellor of Mumbai University, the kind of research quotient he has, with the very wide international experience he possesses after spending long years in USA. You can very well see his H index. And in this meeting, we have been able to bring some of our stalwarts. I can see Dr. Shrikant, who's a Dean Academics, Dr. Gautam, who's a Dean Student Welfare, and all of them, they will be giving a presentation to you that how the university is working. We can see Dr. Sagar, who is Dean Research, and of course, Dr. Bhavna Sharma, who has been coordinating with our office very closely on the various international initiatives. But there are quite a few other points where we have deliberated. And one of the points, very learned faculty members, is that we have discussed India Immersion Program. Professor Fremont was of the view that there has to be two-way traffic. It's not only that the students from MIT, they are going to Canada, but we also want to welcome the students from Canada to India. And as all of you know, that in India, we are the largest partner of Group 8 Universities of Australia. Under the New Colombo Plan, we have invited and welcomed hundreds of Australian students. Similarly, under the UKERI scheme and in the Turing scheme, we have invited hundreds of UK students. And while I'm speaking here, I was informed in the morning that a delegation from University of Sussex is there in Noida. And they are sitting with our various schools to understand that how they can send their students to us under the India Immersion Program. This is again a very strong program where students from across the globe, they come to India, they understand that how our industry works. And we are looking forward to welcome the students of University of Ottawa under the India Immersion Program also. The talks are on where we can have dedicated offices of in-campus concept. And when Professor Fremont and Professor Yaya were there, we saw Mrs. Sethi, who was accompanying them, and we have offered that we can have a dedicated office of University of Ottawa, MIT universities, which will be able to facilitate not only the two-way communication between the universities, but also look at that the number of initiatives which we are taking, which includes PhD programs, strengthening our PhD programs, looking at our joint research, looking at our consulting, and also looking at developing the programs under the articulation. And we have already been working on BBA program, the 2+2, where the 2 years can be done in India, and then next 2 years can be done at their campus. And in these 2 years, we are again exploring that can we do a part of the program in Canada also. Similarly, in engineering, the students can do 1 year in India, and then they can do rest of the part of their program in their university. In psychology, we are looking at 2 years with MIT and then 2 years with them. So these are the 3 programs which we are looking at. So articulated program, study abroad program, 3-continent program, India immersion program, campus in campus, and also looking at strengthening our PhD programs. So we have concluded that to start with, we will look at about shortlisting few scholars, where we can see that few of them, they can go to Canada and can also get an opportunity to interact with some of the top brains. One guide can be from India and the other guide can be from University of Ottawa. Similarly, if their scholars want to pick up any guide from India, we can share the subject. So I think that it is not only going to help us in strengthening our research, but will also help in increasing the citations and H index of the scholars as well of the university. So these were quite a few initiatives which we have discussed in the past, but we just thought that we will be able to introduce our very worthy guests to you, and they will be able to understand what kind of culture we are bringing in. Professor Fremont, the dream of our founder, Dr. Chauhan, who has spent so many years in Europe, was to create those universities who are truly believing in not only research, but commercializing research. So you will find when you will speak to some of our very learned faculty members and scientists and social scientists, that whatever they do, whatever research they are doing, they are making it as a point that whatever they do, it should be for the society. So commercializing research and also relating it and integrating it with the needs of the society, that is what Dr. Chauhan has been able to focus on. Over to our very dedicated team, but once again, on behalf of all the vice chancellors, on behalf of all the deans, on behalf of our Mumbai campus, and of course, on behalf of our founder who is watching this event live, and on behalf of our chancellors, we welcome you to India and to our Mumbai campus. Thank you so very much.
Thank you so much, sir, for the wonderful address. Thank you. Now, I take this opportunity to welcome once again our respected Honorable Vice Chancellor, sir, to enlighten us with the information more on the university, Amity University, Mumbai. Sir.
No, thank you.
Yeah.
The name is Mumbai. Let me tell you,
Yes,
say
sir.
Mumbai.
Yes, yeah.
It's not Mumbai Navy or Navy.
No, Navi Mumbai, no.
Okay,
It's Mumbai.
okay, good.
So, good morning again. Welcome to Professor Fremont and Professor Yaya. So, welcome to Amity University, Mumbai. And as you all know, currently we are just moving on. It's all because of the vision of our founder president, Dr. Ashok Chauhan. So, which gives us the meaning that why and how things are going on. And a very great salute to the visionary our founding president, Professor Dr. Ashok Chauhan. Without Dr. Asimji's propulsion, that nothing would go. We are indeed very proud to have a very steering force, Dr. Asim Chauhanji, our Chancellor and President. So as you know that with 11 different campuses within India, nationally, as well as 11 abroad, the multitude of our university campuses had a lot of recognitions and accreditations, both nationally and internationally. So to say that we are the only one university in India which is being accredited by WASC. So we are indeed very proud to say that. And also we have been recognized both the program wise, which is more important in India, as well as in the institution wise. So there are three kind of accreditations that we currently uphold. Number one is the institution wise. Number two is the program wise. And then number three is the overall university wise. And moving on from Delhi to Mumbai, you are right now here at the map. And coming into Amity University Mumbai, this is the bird's eye view of the building that you will see here. Yes, it is. Yeah. So you are rightly just sitting on the left side building. And again, our Chancellor and President, Dr. Asim Chawanti. And I am the Vice Chancellor, AW Santosh Kumar. I've been earlier as a Vice Chancellor in two different universities. Earlier to that 16 years, I was in the US as a Director Academics and Director Accreditation at California at Los Angeles. And we also have joining with us senior dignitaries, Dr. Ira Vias, who is an alumni from Southern New Hampshire University.
In the US?
Yes, UK. And we also have with us Dr. Gautam Gawali, our Dean Student Welfare, who's a nationally renowned expert in psychology. And we are indeed very proud to have him here as one of our faculties that he's the most sought-after person in clinical psychology, where even now nationally he's been taken as a refuge. And I should also introduce you to Dr. Srikanth Sarate, our Dean Academic Affairs, a proud alumni of IIT Mumbai, which is the toppest tier ranking in India and 68 in the whole world. So we are happy to have him as one of our deans here. And also Dr. Bhavana Sharma, who have been very extensively being trained in Singapore, Malaysia, and also in China.
Oh, China as well.
Yes, she is a business administration specialist per se, and she is now the officiating head of the institution of Amity Business School. So we have in campus 18 different schools or institutes, starting from Amity Business School to Amity Institute of Behavior and Allied Sciences, which you are much needed to, and Amity Institute of Information Technology. And all the things totally amount to 18 different schools, and they are being headed by deans, directors, and officiating HOS, whom you will see there as a very big group here. So they are all from different walks of life, and I should say that when you just see the institution statistics, the bottom down below, you would see that these are the different institutions nationally and internationally. These people have been an alumni, and which are all highly reputed universities, which, so to say, to clearly emphasize that our faculties are the best among the elite group of the people that you would ever see in any private university. And the student statistics currently we hold 5,178, 3,925 UGs, 1,049 PG, and 204 PhD. And we have a very fallacious ladies as well as the gents hostel, which in-houses majority of the people here. And the total number of permanent faculties are 209, and we have also certain visiting faculties because we give a diversified curriculum, so we would need them, and so we have them. And the faculty student ratio as of now is 1:22. So which is well within the stipulated accreditation norms over here. So what are our main dictums is that as per the education policy, we would always foster to make Amity University Mumbai as a multi-educational research university. So this brings about four important dictums. Number one is to keep up the student changing paradigm, which is more important, where we just given many credit-based, choice-based credit systems, portfolio courses, which will tailor make them to make them camera ready for an industrial knowledge, and making a total overall difference. So what you would see with an Amity student versus another university is that this guy who completes a degree here in Amity will be an overall all-rounder who will take up any challenge in the world, not only with his life challenges, but also with his technical challenge. So we have seen that, and we have been tailor making each and every student to that particular thing. Number three is they are made to learn and to lead, which is what we really foster through our founding presidents, directions. Because, as our founding person always envisions, we equip our students to employ rather to be employed. So that they could make a very big kingdom so that they could provide employability to many people who are fostering it. Rankings and recognitions, Amit University Mumbai ranks within the band of 100 to 200 universities in the world. This is the world ranking where the quality of education that is being provided, in the gender equality and in the partnership and collaboration, where you have been here, one among the partners who are being very valued here today. And I should also say that India Today ranking, we have been ranked number 2 among the best private universities in India. And with regard to specific schools, Amity School of Engineering Technology has been ranked as the zone's number 6th university within India. So this is based on the overall universities, which are totally 1,093 universities in India. So as you know that we have mushrooms of universities here, and it is always a tooth and nail rat race that goes on. However, finally, as you know that the quality always goes. So ranking and recognition with regard to law, we have been ranked 4th in the state and 15th among all the law schools in India. So we are indeed very proud that we have such a lot of good infrastructure. And with regard to the business school, as Dr. Bhavna Sharma is actually heading, it has been now ranked as 20th the B schools within India. And the week ranking of the best Indian universities have designated Amity University Mumbai as multidisciplinary emerging university. And I should also say that Mumbai, as you all know, it's a vantage point they have it at their own age. So we provide them with a very smart campus with Wi-Fi connectivity, industrial-driven curricula, which is more important. The teaching learning pedagogy is totally ICT enabled. We have a very well state-of-art library there and air-conditioned academic blocks. The classrooms, which are totally ultra-modern, fitted with super classrooms for interaction studies. And we have all the naturally focusing on student-centered facilities like medical center, fitness, etc. And we also cater to the needs of the placement, which is more important. We start not to focus on the admissions because, as you know, that based on the credibility that Amity has, we get the admissions easily. And the placements also foster to people who do not backlog with any other the placement issues.
How many applications you get yearly?
Approximately we get around 10,000 and odd applications. Yeah, and the total people who are on board are 5,000, and we look forward to increasing this still more higher, around 8,000 to 10,000 this time, so that we can accommodate the proper fashion. So we also in-house Center for Excellences because, as you all know, that Amity is a research innovation driven university. We give more focus into outcome-based learning. That is more important. So in every school, we focus on outcome-based learning. Amity Center for Excellence in Astrobiology is one of the excelling centers. We are taking part with the NASA missions. We are taking part with the ISRO, Indian Space Research Organization, and we have on the verge of putting a payload to Mars, where we are actually sending stevia plant nodes for study. So as you all know, that stevia is an artificial sweetener plant through which we get artificial sweetener. We have Center for Genomics and Proteomics, Nanotechnology, Computational Biology, and also Center for Excellence in Drug Discovery and Development. So this is the recent Center for Drug Discovery and Development that has been recently opened, and this caters to the need of the post-pathogen interaction, especially the detrimental pathogens. And this clearly tells you what are the expeditions that this astrobiology has taken up to go on a Mars analog, similar associate on a Mars analog, where we go to a place called Lake, where they set up a total environment which is similar to Mars. So they take annual expeditions there. They do research there. They bring in samples, and we have identified extremophils like bacteria which live in extreme environments, which would be used for industrial purposes.
If you ever do it for real, for Mars, I will give you a couple of colleagues I would like to send them on a one-way ticket.
And we could think that we can have a bilateral relationship with this astrobiology.
Yeah.
Wherein I should say that we have one of our faculties currently doing a postdoc sent by our Dr. Asif Chauhan, our chancellor, president, to NASA to do this postdoc.
Wow.
So we'll be visiting those centers as well. And we also frequently cater to the international lecture series that bring in people both offline as well as online. So this is on this is a very important lecture on life at extreme conditions. And recent collaborations this year, we had, we don't want to talk about the history though, we are totally live and up and mobile. So what you see here are the 4 different universities that we have signed up MOUs where people are on to international collaborations and setting the study of our program. Like I should say that the University of Arizona delegates are visiting us on 31st of this month, May, where they are planning to take 4 of our students for a study program. So it is not only the collaborations in paper we stand, we also execute these collaborations to happen live. And these are a couple of high-impact publications that our people have published, and AWSK stands for me, and I have 2 publications. Dr. Charate is our dean academics, and the reason that I've just put in these kind of publications is it is not our top dignitaries who are just sitting and doing the administration. They are into hardcore research. That is what this slide I would want to emphasize. We also are being involved in getting the patent. There's one of the German patent. It's a novel food formulation for immune boosting, and this is from one of our faculties from Amity Business School who had developed a smart home surveillance system. It's a German patent. And I should also say our Bhavana Sharma ji had authored a book, what you see on the right side, and she's Dr. Bhavana Sharma, as you know. Yeah. And we have one of our faculty who is an international fellow, Ramalinga Sami awardee, who had also published a book on waste and biodiversity. Further to that, we also conduct some elite international programs like international conferences. What you see here is international conference on higher education that's being conducted by Amity Business School, and also a roundtable conference bringing in a lot of people from different parts of the globe in fostering to the faculty and the students in the recent trend. And we have a corporate resource center which helps in the placement or the job placements especially, and the total job placement as of 2021-22 is 84.5% in Amity University, Mumbai campus. And I should also say that this corporate resource center also brings about a placement drive. We bring in many industry people here. For example, right at this time, there is one big event that is going on. We will have a look at it. We have brought in 20 different industries. So these guys come in, they interview people and on soft skills and all the skills. They immediately apply them. The employment order is given, and they are being taken either as an intern or they are being taken for a job. It is like something similar to the co-op program.
Absolutely.
Right?
Yeah.
So this is doing a very good job. Where this is one of the important vantage point I would suggest to have that into consideration. So fostering to innovation, we are indeed very proud to say that we have some 12 to 13 of our students who have started a startup industry. It's like a Google kind of a thing, or those kind of stuff. And these guys are now multi-millionaires. I should say that they are students and alumni that you see here. We have just brought them here, and we are felicitated. So many. For example, I'm just giving a couple of things. If you would want, I would also share these presentations to you, so that
great.
Visually you can take a look at it. Where from software industry to app development to entrepreneurial skills, these guys are doing a great job, and I should say that these people are still studying as students. And this is a glimpse of all these things. And we also conduct mega events. Like, see, we did a marathon for 24 hours, which is called as a webathon. It's like a marathon married to a web, right? So it's a 24 hours continuous thing where the students are put into a system where they will develop an app within 24 hours.
24 hours.
Yes, it is. Yes, it is. Without stop. So the group
Without sleep.
Yes, it is. Yes. So it's like
They eat at least.
yes. So they will have 4 to 5 students in a group, And there have been more than 16 groups and shortlisted, and 8 of the groups have come with a very good app development. And we have what you see down below are the people who have been given a cash prize, and this is being conducted by Amity School of Science and Technology. So other than to this, we have some skill technology initiatives. As you know, that it is not only the theory-based thing. We are into outcome-based education. So skill technology. This is one of the very fun events called Technicia, conducted by Amity School of Engineering Technology, where there are 13 different technoton or 30 different events which went on. Okay, which is nothing but to make their skill. For example, what you see in the next thing is, these are like unique skills where they embed the computer and the software development skills into motor skills or mechanical skills, is bringing about totally a different idea. For example, like a drone developing skills or these kind of go-karting skills, etc. And what you see here are the go-karting races that go on by our students. And we also would say that we have a very state-of-the-art film school, because as you know that Mumbai is a place where it's Bollywood is there, and there's a lot of, it is equally to a Hollywood.
Absolutely.
So I was earlier in LA, which is
California,
Hollywood, and now I've come to Mumbai.
Bollywood. Okay.
As an actor?
A different actor.
Educating people to act. So this is one of our alumni, Mr. Harvard Agar, who is in the film industry, who took a time out to come here and teach our students. It's like alumni teach.
So he's a graduate from
Yes.
Amity Mumbai.
Yes, he graduated from Amity Noida.
Okay, Noida. Okay,
Because
okay.
This campus is being coming into existence since 5 years.
I see.
5 to 6.
We got a chance to visit the School of, I believe, Information
Yes,
Technology,
yeah,
and we saw the studio. And
Information is also there. Amity School is also there. So, and this is also a VR metaverse documentary filmmaking thing. And what you see here, this guy is also an alumni. Sorry, this lady is an alumni, and then she came here all the way to educate our people to make an uncut film. It's like within a single shot, you complete a very short film. Like a short film contest kind of stuff. And we frequently take industrial visits, which is a part of our curriculum. And what you see here are the industrial visits that have been taken. What you see here are the plan. The students are taken to the automobile industrial plants. And one of our Center for Excellence is being sponsored by one of the top tier industries in India called Tata. You might have heard
we know
about.
that, yes.
And Tata is automobile industry, and we, under the Amity School of Engineering Technology, headed by Dr. Charade, we have that Center for Excellence that is currently up and running. Couple of student activities. Fun part is that these people are also involved with orchestrating their overall this thing. So now they totally take care of it, start from A to Z, in organizing it very mega events like that. This is inaugurated by our Chancellor and President, and that is a mega event where we bring in different people, like different cine actors, different people from different walks of life.
Is it a yearly event?
Yes, it's an early event. It's an
So
early event.
when is the next event?
Last month it got over. Probably we would invite you both for the next event. You will have really a great fun here. So these are a couple of events with these guys. He's a famous singer. Internationally known singer. And we have a fashion design school. We have fashion design ramp walks. We also honor our people. I should say that one of our students has been crowned as Miss Mumbai. So that's a proud moment for us. Other than that, we have co-curricular activities. We do a tribal awareness program. We have a lot of tribes here, and Dr. Gautam Gawade is our person who's there. We also take up museum on wheels where begin students, school students, K-12 students. We educate them on different facets of tourism and travel. We also do social work using certain extended camps like rural camps and other stuff. And we also provide self-health and wellness camps. Like this is one of the blood donation camp that is being organized by the student council. And Dr. Gautam, sitting on my right side is our student welfare. And the facilities that we provide, we have a very state-of-the-art hostels, and we have a very good cafeteria. There are 2 or 3 cafeterias with the international flavors that you would want to. And also we have a gymnasium and a sports arena. So evening, as you know, that we are far little away from Mumbai. This is the only place where these people get recreated and they are fully into this thing.
But it's good because you know where your students are.
Yes. Yeah.
I'd love to say the same sometimes.
So what we do is we actually divide them into groups, and these are all intra teams. And then finally, Amity University, Noida, on the birthday of our founder president, we conduct a very big mega event, a sports event called Sanditon, where we sponsor from 11 different campuses. So we have a very close nexus with all these campuses and collaboration with them, so that we finally gather there during our founder president. So these are a couple of screenshots to say that our people are involved in action. And we also have a counseling center, dedicated counseling center for our students, so which is there to also. So with this short thing, thank you so much for your patient listening. And to make a long story short, it is not the education that we provide here, it is a 360-degree overall angle that we provide here. So we take knowledge into an outcome and outcome-based education into skills and skill set into implementation, and finally we make it employable. Thank you so much.
Thank you so much. Very impressive presentation. Very impressive. Should I introduce the University of Ottawa very quickly, or
Yes,
is it
sir.
part of
Yes,
the program?
yes, sir. It is a part of it. It will come up. So right now, so we have, as per the
Okay.
schedule, the presentation coming in.
What we have done is we just complete the Dean Academics
Presentation.
and then
Yes.
Okay, very good.
Oh, yes. Thank you so much, Honorable Vice Chancellor, sir, for really introducing Amity Mumbai campus so well. And I'm sure my guest has really got to know many things about Amity Mumbai. Thank you so much, sir. So I take this opportunity to invite our Dean Academics, Dr. Shrikant Charate, who is also a director, Amity School of Engineering and Technology. Sir is right here with us, and I'll be sharing sir's presentation.
Okay.
So sir would be informing us about the Amity University Mumbai's academic structure. So I'm sure it would be great for you to even know more about the academic structuring we follow at Amity Mumbai.
Thank you very much.
Sir, I'll just take one more minute to do the screen share.
And I guess you can share this presentation after. Yeah, perfect.
So we have your emails that you have.
Yeah, absolutely. Yeah. So okay.
Actually, it is much needed so that our guests who are there, who had joined us
Yeah.
virtually, could also
Good
see.
idea.
Thank you very much, Dr. Bhavanaji. And once again, I welcome Mr. Vimal, President and Vice Chancellor. Surayati Sayas, and Vice President International, Vice Chancellor, Dr. Singh, Vice Chancellor, and all my esteemed colleagues. I would like to observe the presentation of Honorable Vice Chancellor, how outcome is presented from the university side. So it's my duty to present how our academic framework is, how our teaching pedagogy, and how the academics goes on, even before pandemic, during pandemic, and even after pandemic. That is why. We are always blessed with our founder president, Dr. Ashok K. Chavanji. And since 2014, inception of our university at Maharashtra, Mumbai, particularly at this place. So we are growing in leaps and bounds. Under the leadership of our Honorable President, Dr. Asim Chavanji, he is constant inspiration for all of us to have some programs, vibrant programs, which is introduced at Amity University, Mumbai. And since Honorable Vice Chancellor Professor W. Santosh Kumar has joined this university just 6 months back, and you can see a lot of outcome has been put up here. And this has become one of the happening place right now under his leadership. As Honorable Vice Chancellor has explained, there are 18 schools, and here I put all the programs where you can see that the maximum programs are being run at Amity School of Engineering and Technology, then Amity Business School, and then Amity School of Communications, and Amity School of Behavior and Allied Sciences. So we are having around undergraduate programs 55, then PG around 33, PhD part-time and PhD full-time. About 14 each programs. Yeah. And 116 programs total.
No, it's okay. I just wanted to see the list.
Oh, okay.
It's the same 18 school. This is program wise. So total we are having 116 programs as of now. Started with few programs initiated at 2014. And this year we reached at 106. And there are many more programs which are under review, which we are going to introduce after we get due approval from our Honorable Chancellor, sir. So,
So your biggest school is the School of Engineering.
yes,
Is that correct?
yes. And I would like to look at the programs at Engineering and Technology. There are 11 programs, mainly between computer science and engineering.
I just had a question.
Yeah.
We've seen a list of programs, and are there faculties or faculty of science, faculty of arts? Do you have faculties or it's just?
Yes.
Yeah, we have that
Okay.
classification.
Yes.
And how many did you say? Because I didn't.
18 different schools.
18
No,
different
like Faculty of
schools.
Science or Faculty of Arts, that kind of a classification is there.
Okay.
But what we do is, we just bring these faculties into different schools, like Amity School of Engineering Technology has a separate set of faculty.
Okay, so it's equivalent to a faculty
Yes, it is. Yes. Yes,
in
yes,
in US
Yeah,
terms,
yes,
for
yes,
instance.
yes,
Yes.
of course, yeah.
So
Okay,
call it here
I
as a
see,
yes.
school or institute.
So,
Okay,
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 I should
okay.
put it in this way, that we have 18 different faculties.
Okay,
Yes.
perfect.
Okay.
Under which-
Sounds good.
Okay.
They are-
So I
they are
mentioned in
scholars.
I mentioned in earlier column that it is school
Oh,
oblique
that's what you
institute.
mentioned.
Yes.
18
Yes,
different school
yes.
institutes. Yeah.
So
Okay.
next. And as far as engineering is concerned, we are having highest undergraduate and postgraduate and PhD programs here, running around 11 undergraduate programs in BTech Computer Science and Engineering, and we are offering specializations like AI and machine learning, Internet of Things, data science, cyber security, and cloud computing. Other than this, we are having also regular programs which we offer specialization in 3 continent and CS International, along with aerospace, electronics and communications, civil engineering, mechanical, automobile, aeronautical. These 2 programs, BTech Automobile and BTech Aeronautical, we are running with collaboration of Tata Technologies Pune, which is big companies in India. So we have their set up over here. Postgraduate 4 programs, and then PhD in computer science and engineering, civil, aerospace, and nanoscience and nanotechnology. Center of nanoscience and nanotechnology is attached with engineering. So we are looking after that center also. Next, please. So as per our discussion and this one, because I'm putting here the business school business management and psychology allied sciences programs also. About 6 programs we are having for business management undergraduate, 4 programs about postgraduate, and 2 in PhD. Along with psychology, 2 undergraduate programs in clinical specifically, and then MPhil in clinical and MSc in psychology and PhD in psychology. So these 3 schools which are specifically focusing, I mentioned in all the programs. Next, please. Global study programs and next international study abroad program. I think Bhavnaji will be focusing more on this. Next, please. Yeah, about choice-based credit system, we practice flexi-learn system. That means, if you look at the typical course and credit structures, we are having 5 years program specifically in architecture and law. We are having law 5-year program and 3-year program also. These programs are governed by the statutory bodies, Council of Architecture in India and Bar Council of India. Then typically for 4 years, we are having about 190 to 200 credits allocated, and 3 years 150 to 280, and 2-year program, which is specifically a postgraduate program, 100 to 110 credits. So we constantly revise these programs, which include the core courses, electives, then value-added courses. And yes, we are practicing project-based learning, specifically in engineering. We give the projects in second year itself only, so that those projects can be carried over till final year, and we can have good output in terms of technology transfer, technology development,
Yeah.
and publications too.
How many hours per credit? Because I would say certainly for us, 100 credits is
Yes.
3 years and not 2 years. So,
Yes, 1 hour means 1 credit,
One credit.
typically. Yeah.
Okay.
For
Okay.
practicals, 2 hour means 1 credit.
Okay,
Okay,
Yes,
okay.
for tutorials, 1 hour means 1 credit.
I see.
So this is the credit system we are having
Good.
here.
Like the earlier credit system where we say 2+1 kind of a thing for theory 1 and then
Yes.
practical. It's 2 hours.
Wow.
The
So
typical
now
slot
one
is 1 year.
The theory 1 hour is 1 credit.
Okay.
Practical 2 hours is 1 credit.
I see.
Because for us, it's 1 credit is 15 hours.
So that will go.
No, that is,
This is 1 hour, 1 credit, but it is for 15 hours. That
Okay,
will come, it's a teaching. So
okay.
this
I
is
see.
in terms of hours for credit, and teaching is for 1 credit for 15 hours.
Okay.
So totally it will go for 45 hours in 1 semester. Yes.
So
So breakup is like
under
this.
which school
Hmm.
is architecture here? Is it-
Architecture is separate.
it's a
school.
separate school.
It's
But-
separate
That's
school?
a big
Yes.
school. It's a
Yes.
big school here and that is being manned by Architecture Council of India. So now they have a separate accreditation system, meeting standards. So they come for annual inspection. So those kind of strict regime is there,
Yeah.
which we really follow. So they are exclusively given a separate school. We have a separate director, a separate group of faculty.
We have additional planning also, architecture and planning. So architecture is one course, B Arch, and B Plan is another course, which is in the same institute offering. So we designed this curriculum, we call it as board of studies, then academicians, industry experts, students feedback, parents feedback. So we take into account to revise our curriculum. So every year we do this, so revision can be throughout the year. Next, please. So how our academic framework is, that means we offer major degree in the same core of the respective schools. We offer minor degrees of about 18 credits, which are listed over here. This is these are some of the program. In addition to this, we add value-added courses like concentration electives, foreign languages, behavioral science, communication skills. And in terms of foreign language, we give the choice to the students. In terms of minor tracks, we provide choice to the students what they will be choosing.
Mhm.
Like from engineering student, he can choose fashion also, management or photography or animation. So he can pursue his dream in that particular course. And out of these 3 language, students can select 1 language throughout their career so that they can complete about 18 to 21 credits as a foreign language also. So this is additionally evaluated. That's why we call it as a choice-based
Do you
system.
have students who actually choose French?
Sorry?
Yes, we do.
I'm just curious because as you know, we are a bilingual university and
Yes, yes.
Yeah, we
French
have,
is,
we do, yeah.
Yeah. And these are most.
We have exclusive faculty.
oh, yeah.
Yes. And these are mostly students like this because the German they need Spanish and French mostly speaks to many countries. Next, please. Also, we are having this continuous evaluation system online. Please go ahead. Yeah. We are having Amazon portal here where students are already online since before pandemic also, because this is the Amity flagship kind of software which is developed, and students, parents, teachers, everybody is linked with the software. So anybody can access from anywhere what is the progress of his ward, or what is the progress of my teacher, or what is the progress of my student. These are the various facets: course materials, academic submissions, evaluation is continuous evaluation system. We on LMS, and yes, we monitor attendance also. And here we have a strict policy of attendance. Every students must have 75% plus attendance. Otherwise,
That's very interesting. So are you telling us that no even parent can access
Yes,
this
yes.
system?
So
Yes.
the uniqueness of this Amazon program,
Yeah.
the thing is that it's all in one suite, both the LMS, learning management system,
Yeah.
as well as FMS, faculty management systems also. So the faculty feedback, student feedback. For example, if a student is going to have any problem with the class
Mhm.
or with any problem, they can escalate immediately. We have 5 levels of escalation.
Wow.
So automatically this goes to the immediate, the head of the institution. If that is not being taken care of in 24 hours, automatically it gets escalated to the Dean of Academics. If not taken care immediately to this, not then to vice chancellor. So this, any problem that is being initiated by the student has to be solved within a period of say 24 to 38 hours, or else automatically you will get a reminder.
Wow.
And that kind of a stuff comes again and again. So this happens for everything, right? From fee payment to the student attendance, student discipline, the marks, the
Admissions.
evaluation, admissions, attendance, whatever.
And this ERP, is it common to all?
campuses.
Yes.
All
systems?
campuses. In fact, now anybody anywhere can access this portals. In fact, from my mobile, I can access anything right now. Here, I can see what is the attendance, who is conducting the class, each and everything. Classes are being tracked every day on
So
this portal.
attendance, for instance, who tracks attendance?
So attendance being tracked by the HOI. Number one, they be tracked by the teacher. Number one.
Exactly.
Okay, so
That's
the teacher is being manned by a coordinator. So who takes care of the academic coordinator within the school or within the faculty, right? So if that is being totally overseen by the HOI, and all the HOI, whether they are doing a great job or not, is being manned by the dean academics, and that's how the hierarchy kicks in. So you can't
There are no
escape
escape
any
routes.
system.
That's
there.
amazing.
Yeah. So,
There are no escape routes at all, because parent has to be linked also, because they can see the attendance. Even if it falls below 75%, 74.9 even, so they comes under a red line.
I'm just curious very quickly, who gives access to parents? Is it Amity? Are the students giving access to their own parent, to the
Yes.
system? How does it work? I'm just
No,
curious.
it's like, for example, if I have a ward, my
Yeah.
son or daughter.
Yeah.
Signed up, automatically the parent also gets signed up with the login password.
Separate
Wow.
log
Got it?
password.
So that is a
Wow.
separate thing. So that has nothing to do with the student. So that this channel is entirely different. For example, if
So
any
parent
disciplinary
access.
action, if he or she is not going to go very well, the student doesn't know, but the parent is being directly indicated.
The IDs and passwords are separate.
Separate. Next, please. So this is our typical evaluation system. Evaluation system with end-term examinations, we are having up 70 marks, and then before that, okay, 20, 30 marks are being scattered for this one. Go ahead, please. And we are having additional parent-teacher meet, mentor-mentee schemes, experiential learning internships. We are having from minimum 4 weeks to even maximum for 6 months. Students can go into the industries and they learn the skills, and then they come back and they're ready for placement.
Yeah, sorry, you mean the parents are involved?
Yes,
Here.
yes,
Yes,
Wow.
yes.
we either to call parents here if they come, or
Is it-
online also.
Is it important? Because for us, they're adults and we refuse to deal with parents.
No, even
They're supposed to be adults, but they're legally
I
adults.
know. You're correct, yes.
parents
But
are
here the
keen in
system is
coming
entirely
here.
different.
Yes.
What we do is the parents are still paying the fee. Whereas
Yeah.
in US and Canada, after 18 years, those guys.
Many
they-
parents are paying the
Yes,
fees,
yes,
but
yeah.
we say it's none of your business, the
Yeah.
student's performance.
Yeah.
But parents are happily
Okay.
coming here. In fact, we ask them some suggestions also, some
Okay.
feedback.
Parent-teachers will
We have
also.
feedback also, and every semester we are having a minimum 1 parent-teacher interaction. So many join online and they come here offline. We have open house also on that particular day. Next. These are some of the technology centers we are having, particularly Tata Technologies Collaboration, Technology Center, Innovation Center. Go ahead, please. Domain Learning Center, Advanced. We will visit all these centers, Advanced Manufacturing. Go ahead, please. Then these are some of the labs in engineering. Go ahead, please. And some other schools. These are only limited picks. And yes, during pandemic, we could cope up with regularly. Thank you very much.
So we have 2 more presentations to go, and we'll make it very, very short. Number one is international programs. Another one is on psychology. So we'll have 5 minutes each, and then probably you will introduce that. So that we'll have a quick.
And we'll take 6 minutes after that.
Yes. Okay, that's fine.
So thank you so much, Charati sir, for really explaining out the academic system of Amity University so well. Now I take this opportunity to invite our Dean at Student Welfare, Dr. Gautam Daudi, to enlighten us with the programs he is undertaking at Amity Institute of Behavioral and Applied Sciences.
Yes.
I'll just do the screen share, sir. And,
Just first slide.
We are more concerned about putting a
Yeah.
Professor Yaya on board.
Okay. Anyway, meantime, yeah. Distinguished delegates, our yeah, that's okay. It's okay. I can be loud enough. Yes. Right. Am I audible to you, sir? Hello. Yeah.
just take up a confirmation from our Noida team, sir is audible. And Professor Kumar, if you could confirm.
Yeah, it is quite
Okay. Okay.
quite okay.
Yeah, thank you. Yeah. So distinguished delegates, our honorable group vice chancellor, sir, our honorable vice chancellor, Amity University, Mumbai, my colleague, Dr. Srikant, Dr. Vyas, Dr. Bhavna. Within just few minutes, I will just brief about our behavioral institute, Institute of Behavioral Sciences. We have a vision statement where it is very prominently stated, because we were victim of social stigma for a longer period, but slowly now we are getting liberated from this social stigma attached with psychology. So we have said that our objective is to be part of social change. Next, please. Vision is through practical training, applied orientation, community awareness. These are our highlighted areas. Then we run this program like we have undergraduate programs, bachelor's of arts in applied psychology, Bachelor of Science, that is in clinical psychology, because clinical psychology is a focus at present, because to students which we get in Amity University, Mumbai, they are from different state of our country. So we have some international students also. 28 state students are studying in Amity Institute of Behavioral Sciences. So that kind of multicultural diversity which we have in our center. So we run postgraduate programs in MSc in 3 specialization. Just one. 3 specialization, that is clinical psychology, counseling psychology, and industrial psychology. Now, Maharashtra being an industrialized state, so we also have a lot of employment opportunities for those who will be completing their master's program in organizational behavior. Yeah, next. Yeah, and we run this MPhil in clinical psychology under National Mental Health Project. We have RCI, that is Rehabilitation Council of India. It's a regulatory body for us. So that's a government regulatory body. So under their guidelines and mandate, we run this MPhil in clinical psychology program. We have 100% employment for them, because immediately after they complete, during their program itself, they are hired by various hospitals as a clinical psychologist. Yes. PhD program, of course, we started recently, and we'll be having our first production, our first PhD students in another 1 month's time. Because this is our first program we started in 2017, our first area, because the country like ours, we have a very diverse kind of society, multicultural, cultural diversity. So we have prominently added multiculturalism in our teaching. So that's a core concept of psychology. So multiculturalism, social diversity, social justice, that's our focus area. We talk about various community awareness program. Then disability and its inclusion, because there's a struggle for people with disability to be part of mainstream. So we also added that as a training program, and many of our students, research scholars, MPhil students, they take projects related to rehabilitation of people with disability, including psychiatric patients. So we have MOU signed with various organizations, and many of our PhD programs also are leading to this. So we have community mental health. Yeah, sorry. And this is, yeah, then community mental health, that we have COVID related issues, because see, for that kind of awareness, the kind of mental health, because you all know throughout the world, two professionals were very active, physicians and mental health professionals. So we also joined that mental health profession, and we started counseling to students online, their parents online, their community in general online. Our counseling center, we started functioning online. It's an e-counseling center. So that is again run as our Honorable Vice Chancellor Sir has presented in his, he mentioned in his presentation about our counseling center. And then yoga, meditation, and all the other things are being trained. And this is the largest school in Amity University, Mumbai, in terms of students and of course faculty. And as our Vice Chancellor Sir very rightly mentioned, because since we have a diverse areas, and that's why we need to have visiting faculty. Some of our visiting faculty is postdoctorate, so they are also associated with us in teaching our students with different perspective. Yes. PhD program, of course, we have at present 15 students, PhD scholars registered in different areas. Yeah, next. These are some of our faculty members. Those have different kind of perspective to look at mental health. Some are from social perspective, some are from community, some are from industrial, clinical, counseling, psychology, right? So that's a kind of, and then faculty also is from different states, from the north, east, west, south part of the country. Yeah, these are our publications at present, because faculty that way is very young faculty. That our presentation, our publication is going on. Yeah, next. These are some of the MOU which we signed with government organizations as well as non-government organizations. These are some of our events which we have conducted. National Mental Health, because this is one of the premier institute. This is working in the field of mental health. So we have interaction with them, and to be conducted some programs. So with this, thank you very much for this.
Thank you. Very impressive. Well integrated.
Thank you so much, sir, for really enlightening us with the IVA's portfolio here today. I thank you for that. So I take this opportunity that my Honorable Vice Chancellor sir said that we have very less time, so I'll take only 5 minutes to introduce. I'm sorry. Rather, I should say that I'll reintroduce Amity International Programs, what we have at Amity University, Mumbai. I will stop share of my presentation. Amity International Programs and all the initiatives all of the initiatives related to Amity internationalization at Mumbai campus are in very well aligned with the Amity International department there at Amity University, Uttar Pradesh. We have a common then. Along with it, we have our own certain initiative, what we had initiated under the leadership of our Honorable Vice Chancellor, sir. Very good afternoon to everyone once again. And I, Dr. Bhavna Sharma, as a Nodal Officer International Program, would want to take up this opportunity to introduce some of the key initiatives we are undertaking at Amity University, Mumbai. So this agenda, but then rather than talking on the entire agenda, as I have only 5 minutes to cover up the entire slide, I would prefer to go on to my slides quickly. Global campuses are already shown to you. This is the first slides, and with this recognition and accreditation, I would want to emphasize that not only the national accreditation, what we have in our, as in feather in our cap, we have international recognition also coming in with us, like some of them IACBE, BSI, some of the Central Counseling Board who have recognized some of the programs. So as very rightly said by our Honorable Vice Chancellor, sir, we have the accreditation coming to our say credit at the university level, at the institutional level, even at the program level. So all of the three have been listed here in these. So international exposure, what we have with us to provide to our students through the innovative models are the study abroad program, 3 continent studies, global studies, some twinning program, certificate program, integrated program, and internship abroad programs. Certainly, study abroad program, I'm sure you would have even heard about it in our international office, wherein the opportunities have been made open to all of the Amitians. irrespective of the department, irrespective of the institution or the campuses they are studying in. So these opportunities have been made open to all Amitians who are enrolled with us, and different campuses are being provided to them as an opportunity to visit and undertake near about 8 to 12 credits during that study abroad program initiative. So students not only visit and understand different culture, take up different, say, programs, visits, university visit, rather they also take up the credit course during their international visits, which are being provided to all of the Amitians 3 times in a year. So that's also something.
It's a popular program.
Yeah, it is a very, very popular program at Amity campuses. Study abroad program this year, even if we talk on, we had added up Canada also in this initiative study abroad program. And from past like 1 month, we have been taking up all of the applications coming in from the students for the visit to Canada. 3-continent program, very, very unique, wherein a student can undertake study at India, Indian subcontinent, then US and Europe. So 3 months a student spent in Europe and 3 months in USA to undertake these specified credits in that. And they undertake the study from the foreign delegates, foreign faculties, along with the university visits and some industry visits also during this program. We offer it in the engineering domain, fashion management, and even in mass communication. So in this, psychology also is being added. I'm sure this year we would have someone coming in psychology also, 3-continent. Amity Global Study Program, we had initiated it, and I'm sure looking at you that you are already been informed about the Global Study Program. So I'll just skip on this particular thing, and rather I will focus on the Indian Immersion Program, what we have with us at Amity University. So all of these international initiatives are being in common. Along with that, certain international collaboration, what we have recently signed in, and those are being already presented by our Honorable Vice Chancellor, sir, to you. These are certain success stories I had listed up in my presentation. New Colombo plans some success stories to share with you all, which is a signature initiative of the Australian government in association with Amity University. And in this Indo-Pacific in Australia, by supporting Australian undergraduates. So this is how we undertake these international initiatives at Amity campuses. Another one is the UKRI, another success story we have to share with it, wherein Amity University partnered with the following UK university to conduct the program in 2020. And we have all of the top shots university here, which are listed: Bristol, Sheffield, Surrey, Kent, Ulster University, Ireland, University of Northampton, UK, Winchester's Business School, UK, and many more to talk on. These are certain pictures which I would want to. So I will rather say that we have a world of opportunity, and rather for Amity, and we open up the opportunity to the world when we talk on the international program. As the time is less, so I'll just keep on taking up some of these slides. I'm sure it won't be a repetition of, because you all had even seen it there at the Noida campus. So thank you so much for being a patient listener. And with your permission, sir, shall we move ahead with this program? So I take this opportunity now to invite our honorable guest today with us, President and Vice Chancellor of University of Ottawa, Jacques Fremont, sir, who is a President and Vice Chancellor of University of Ottawa. In 2013, Quebec Assembly appointed him to chair the Quebec Human Rights. Yeah.
Now everyone is quite familiar about
Otherwise I'll fall asleep. To read all this.
the paucity of time, with due respect to you both, probably not in this one.
But I would propose if we have to maybe to skip lunch and we could go after our discussion.
Okay, no, what we will do is, after this is done, we'll discuss here. And then we will take a quick lunch, and then we're almost, we'll wrap it up, don't worry. We'll be on time. Exactly 2 o'clock we'll be.
Very good.
Yep.
So again, thank you so much for having us. It is important, and it is important for us to, we've seen the Delhi campus, which is wide and maybe I understand sort of flagship campus, but it's important to see this new campus and to have a feel of really of the other realities of Amity, because I understand that it's a rich constellation and things might be a little different. So of course, the University of Ottawa, and you will see the first picture. Whoops, I hope that we're able to for a quick presentation and we'll leave. It is safe.
So just a minute. Yeah.
So we are in Ottawa. That's the capital of Canada.
If it's not working, just give the thumb drive and let me just put it.
So I think it
It's
will
done,
work.
sir.
It's there.
Yes, sir.
Okay, here we go.
Sir, actually, it's not running at the full screen, so we might have to see it this way.
It's okay.
Okay,
Yeah,
here we go.
it's here. Here we go. Thank you.
Okay, so first I wanted to make sure this is a picture of my office. But it's also the main pavilion on our campus. Maybe next slide. And the Ottawa is a modest city, is the capital of Canada, but it has a population of 1 million. So it's how can I say, it's very modest, certainly in Indian terms. However, it's ranked, usually ranked as #1 in terms of quality of life, including quality of health services and general quality of life. It is well liked by parents of students and by many, because at night there's no nightlife or very little nightlife. So students have nothing better but to study and work on their papers. While if they go to larger cities, the temptations are numerous. So this is one of the advantages of Ottawa, but it's a very healthy city, and you see number of employers, numbers of jobs, so on and so forth. And I will say a few more things. It's the capital region in Canada is characterized by the presence of a large public service. So in terms of public policy and things that we're very involved, and also by the presence of Canada's second largest technological park. It is in Ottawa. It's very concentrated. All the IT companies you've heard about, and which are in India, including Indian companies, are in Ottawa. So there's a, how can I say, very close relationship for technology and the technologies field. Maybe next slide, just to show that we are in downtown Ottawa. And if you look at the upper left hand side of the slide, Parliament Hill, it's Monsieur Trudeau's our Prime Minister's office is less than 700 meters from my office, so he better behave. But what the point is that we're really, and if you go to the next slide, we're really integrated in the center town. And my campus, contrary to yours, I mean, we suffer from a lack of space. So when I want to have a new building, I have to tear down a couple of buildings. So this, it doesn't make my life easy. However, the medical campus and the health sciences campus is outside. It's closer to hospitals. So at least we don't have to deal with the health science people on the campus. But it's a very tight, it's probably Canada's tightest campus, urban campus. Next slide, maybe. So just with a very quick glance, we're among Times Higher Education classification, we're around 150. Sometimes we're lower, sometimes we're a little higher. For QS, it's different. We're around 250. And where we lack in terms of rankings is the reputation. Because in terms of science, in terms of students, I mean, wow, we're doing very well, but we don't have many alumni and so reputation, we have a sort of deficit of reputation, which we're trying to of course, to overcome. I have, there are 45,000 students, more or less. 20% are international students. It means 10,000 students, roughly. We have alumni, of course, the programs, over 550. We have 2 streams, and it will come in the slides later on. One, we are a bilingual university, which is very rare in the world. So we have a Francophone stream and an Anglophone stream. So people register to one of either of. And when Francophone, they follow all the courses in French, but can write their papers in English also, and vice versa, Anglophone stream, everything in English. But if they wish, they can go from one stream to the other in order to acquire new skills. And certainly Francophone students tend to follow courses in English so that when they come out, they're fully bilingual. Less so for the Anglophone students, but many sort of, while they're there, want to learn French, so they will do the exercise. So that is a plus, certainly, and it is a unique, we are unique in that fashion. 10 faculties, we'll get to that. And there are 100 universities, more or less, in Canada. The U15 is the 15 research intensive universities. And they're like the Russell Group, or in England, in the UK, or the AAMS in the US. We are 6, 7, or 8, depending on the metrics. But the first 5 universities you've heard about: University of Toronto, UBC, McGill University, University of Alberta, and University of Montreal. They're much larger than us. They have over 2,000 faculty members. I have 1,300. So what it means is that in the second tier, we are the top of the second tier, very strong, especially in health matters. But there's a heavy competition between us and the 2 or 3 like-minded universities in Canada. So maybe next slide. University of Ottawa, well, you can look at that, the teaching labs and the international students, 10,000. The number 1 country is China, they come from. The second is Morocco, and the third is India. And India is 600 students coming from India. Of course, we have more local students from Indian descent. You know, there's heavy Indian immigration, including in the Ottawa region. So in fact, there are more numerous than 600. Maybe next slide. The faculties, 10 faculties, and they regroup most of the fields we don't have. Some fields we don't have, like for instance, in engineering, mining, we don't have agriculture, we don't have architecture, we don't have. So that's a choice. I mean, it's just not there. We don't pretend we're there. We have 2 faculties of law. Some see it as a nightmare to have 2 group of lawyers, but one deals with common law, of course, which is similar to Indian legal system. The other is with civil law. And civil law is the dominant system in more than 140 countries around the world. So anyone who wants to practice international commercial law, for instance, I mean, it's very good to be able to shift from one to the other. And that is unique because we're able to teach civil law in English, but we also teach common law in French. So we sort of, everything's met. So maybe next slide for the sake, okay, bilingualism, we'll go fast. I think I've told you what the next slide, the next slide. That slide is important. In terms of research, the University of Ottawa is a vast research enterprise. Let's be clear about that. We're a research intensive, comprehensive medical university, and the figures there are not right. Last year, we got $430 million. And we start the year with $0. We ended with 430. And it means that every dollar has been acquired through peer-reviewed process or through contracts with industry or to various means. But the competitive aspect of that is very real. So it means that in order for my 1,300 faculty members to raise $430 million, it means that they really are moving fast and quick and dirty. So, and we are one of the universities in Canada where the needle is moving. We're one of the 2 universities actually where people say, hey, what is going on? Something is going on. But the main driver for that, for research, is clearly the health sciences, medical and health sciences research. And maybe next slide.
No, we have 2 faculties. One
is One's medical, one is health sciences for nursing for the others, and psychology, for instance, is not with the health sciences, it is with the social sciences.
So one of the impressive things that you guys have is the URC and CRC. I think these guys bring in a lot of funding.
Oh,
in
yeah.
all these.
Oh, yeah.
Yeah.
So what are the strategic areas of research? We have to regroup to demonstrate, but they're varied, but what is important, because we're smaller than the large institutions, we have to make choices. We cannot be good everywhere, so we are selecting, and we're really do all we can to enforce these domains. One is creating a sustainable environment, that's the climate change and everything which comes with it. And one of the characteristics of the University of Ottawa in all these strategic areas is that we work in a very interdisciplinary fashion. And it's a theory in many universities, interdisciplinarity. For us, it's real programs and real research projects. And in the environment, for instance, we have many people from science, but also from the law schools, also from the social sciences, faculty of social sciences. They work together, they apply together for grants, and it really makes a difference because it's real, it's a genuine interdisciplinarity. Shaping, if I go to the right, shaping the digital world in blue, of course, IT, because the presence of the IT sector in Ottawa, it's a crucial, and it's crucial for everywhere, for everyone. Part of that, we are leaders in Canada and in the world in photonics. Photonics, of course, leads to quantum science. And for quantum science, there are 2 or 3 universities which can't in Canada, and we're working in network now by quantum science. But quantum science leads to all sorts of technologies. Sensors is one of those technologies. So we're very strong for sensors. We work with the industry in Ottawa. Local industry leads in Canada for automated vehicles, and especially in winter conditions when you have the pleasure of driving through snowbanks. And also sensors are very important for individualized medicine, in which we're very strong. When you swallow the pill, the sensors will bring the product to the right place instead of killing everything on the way. So how can I say this? Photonics link is very important. And the third sector in which we're investing heavily is cybersecurity. So of course, the whole world is after cybersecurity. It's a B2B or a bank level cybersecurity is considered level 2. We're working at level 7. Which relies on quantum science mainly, and we just signed a big contract with IBM US, $21 million to build one of the third cyber range in the world, which is a sort of physical location where people inside and people outside attack people inside, but with the highest levels of cryptography. And you see how can these attacks be pushed back. Of course, we work with National Defense of Canada, with the police security forces, and we are hiring, we're in the second year, 25 faculty members just in cybersecurity at that level. So we're really creating strong critical masses, and the programs will start next year as cybersecurity, masters, and PhD level. And the industry is waiting for these graduates badly and dearly. And the entrepreneurship element is also very important. So that's for shaping the digital world. And AI, of course, is part. For me, it's not a field. It's like genetics. It crosses across all fields. So yes, some people specialize in AI, but I basically have 125 colleagues who do AI every day. But it's not the sector as such. It will be AI, quantum science, AI in the medical sciences. And speaking of medical sciences, health and wellness, third cluster, that is the driving engine of the university. I could go on, but it is big, and we are linked with the 5 hospitals in the region, the teaching hospitals, and it's a huge research machine. We specialize a lot in neuroscience, links between heart and brain. There's an emerging link, very strong link. We had the COVID variant network in Canada, which means that we've been peer reviewed. We've been designated as the strongest teams in COVID variant research. And we regroup all the very good Canadian universities in biomanufacturing. And I guess that's common interest for India and Canada because you're well ahead in that. But also on there, we had the Canadian consortium, and McGill, McMaster are there, and other very serious universities. So there's a lot going on in the health sciences. And finally, because we're in Ottawa, because it's a public service town, we say advancing just societies, the social element of all this is very close. We have many faculty members advise the federal government in all sorts of fields. It's very important. And how can I say to pursue an equalitarian, diversified, multicultural society is very much an objective. And in Canada, like in the US and other countries, there are tensions coming with that. But this being said, we also, we are a land of immigration. Just want to open a window here on that. Right now, when you open a job in Canada, no one will apply.
Borrowed from by the origin of multicultural.
Yeah.
I said that it is coming as a fourth course in like.
Mhm. So the very clearly one of the but population is aging. The needs for the industry and the employers are there, and there's no one to apply. It's the opposite of this country where a job opens and you have hundreds of applicants. And I know your students are smart, they're good. Our students are smart, they're good. I mean, they have no problems whatsoever finding jobs. I mean, their jobs run after them. But we need immigrants, and that's where, how can I say, I mean, it would be good if Canada and India could sort of be meshed together. Right now, as we speak, 1,500 engineer jobs are open and they cannot be filled just in the Ottawa region. 1,500. So this is going to hamper the competitiveness of the country, and we know that there are good engineers and there are good students here. So we want to force the government. They announced this year, mind you, the quotas for immigration this year, 400,000 immigrants. That's a hell of a lot, and they're not going to meet the quota because not the absence of demand, but the treatment time for. So that is very much okay. Next slide. I think we're through what I meant to share with you. Various research centers and institutes. You can look at that. And next slide. And major international partnership in research. I mentioned photonics, extreme and quantum photonics. We have our research center is jointly with the Max Planck Center. They barely have 4 or 5 centers around the world outside of Germany. And we are, with Harvard, we're the only foothold they have in America. CNRS in France, we have many joint labs with them. Fulbright, of course, and Chinese Academy of Science, we have more than that. So it is, how can I say, the big research machine keeps coming, you know, and turning. So that's what I meant to share with you today. One thing is clear, we are not coming to India just for a visit and to say goodbye. We're here, we want really a strong partnership with Indian institution and amity. I mean, with what I've seen in terms of students, in terms of dynamism, in terms of research, can be and will be an important partner. But we have to build a sort of natural bridge and a two-way bridge. It's not what we experienced this morning and coming here. It was pretty jammed up. A two-way bridge between Canada and India. So that it's really a win-win. It has to be a win-win relationship. And I should maybe a footnote. We have many international scholarships. We give scholarships for our students to leave Canada and go abroad. And that is because it's part, I mean, the best student, the best employers, they want that international experience. But we don't want them to go necessarily to the traditional US, UK, France, Germany. Norway is very popular, God knows why. But so they tend to go there. We want them to come to India. We want them to go to Southeast Asia. We want them to go to some African countries, to Latin American countries, because we think that the depth of the international experience will be much greater. Yes, I mean, we'd love to send you students. We know they will be welcomed, but it's very important for us that they see the world, and you are very much part of the strong emerging world and making a difference.
Thank you. Thank you very much.
Thank you so much, Professor Fremont, for just making us visualize your campus and sharing up some very good insight about University of Ottawa with us today.
And you can make a copy of that.
Yes,
and-
we
Oh,
can
yeah,
do that.
sure.
We'll do that. And just to take it further down, no, it will be better that if you have this discussion part now. And then after that, we just go for a stroll and visit a couple of places. And then,
In fact, the driver just texts me, we have some issues with the traffic, so we are supposed to leave at 1:30 and it's already 1:24.
okay.
So in order for me to be able to catch my flight, we have to leave now.
You have to leave
Oh.
now. Wow.
So if you could just give 10 minutes, so let's wrap it up. So that'll be good. A couple of things that the pointers which I would suggest we can take it forward is indeed very happy that you rightly said that it's not only just for a trip. So we are very dedicated, diligent, and we wanted to take this forward. And a couple of things I was just thinking is the co-op program that you are
Yeah.
currently running.
I should have
One of the
mentioned.
important things is that we all the schools like business school, the psychology as well as the science and technology can be very much involved with this co-op program.
We have the
And,
second largest program
yes,
in
it is.
Ontario, and
And-
it's open to international.
Yes,
students.
so if that is going to be
That's
open to international people,
Yeah.
we could also sign up for a couple of people who we could send there. So in doing that, there are two ways of doing that. Number one is just to do a dedicated line where it will be exclusively for you, Ottawa, or else it could be a heterologous line where the student will opt a couple of other things. But and I would suggest that we can do a bilateral dedicated program so that the students will be totally only involved with this co-op program, where they will also have an experience in India as well as they will also have the industrial experience in Canada.
Canada, yeah.
So we could just formulate. Dr. Bhavana, please make a note of it. that
Yes, sir.
we could formulate that part. That is one probability that I was just thinking.
Mhm.
The other one is the twinning program. Technically, the twinning program in other areas like psychology, like the mental wellness, well-being, and psychology with regard to the research component as well as the subjective component. So it's like if the program could be done on both the places. So where you and we are involved totally, the program and the degree would be a dual degree conferring on a particular student under the NAMSA for Amity policy. It would be very, very lucrative that lot of students will take up this program because one kind of lacuna that is currently there is there are a lot of practical avenues that are exposed for the mental illness. And the students, if it is going to be really bilateral, especially you people, when your students are going to come here, we have a dedicated facility where they could stay here and do the program. And I should certainly say that I was fortunate enough to do a similar program with Harvard.
Oh, okay.
Yeah.
Harvard University.
Yes. Yeah, and it's still flying very good in my early university where I work. So that would be a very good possible way to do that. The third one important thing is that if you would give us a dedicated place there at your place, are you thinking something like that, or you would want something here that we could just have that kind of a dedication thing going on, that we can
On that one, it will be, it's almost impossible. I mean, I have no officers for the new faculty members I hire.
Okay.
The place is my number one concern.
So it's like a international arena kind of a thing, or no. Usually, other universities where I earlier worked in UCLA, they have a separate international arena thing where a couple of important universities, like especially the Chinese National Academy, these guys had a room there. They had a dedicated person.
I know he's trying to build an international house on campus, and so
Probably.
within
one
2 or
of
3
Yeah, we
years.
know that.
Absolutely. So that's one of
Yeah.
our main
We're
projects.
taking
right
note,
now.
but in the short term, wow. They're
So,
going to
so
take over
that
my
would be
office,
that
so-
would be another one important thing, and the other one would be on the quantum sciences that you are talking about. See, we should say that we have the applied sciences going on very well here at IIT Mumbai, and also we have the science and technology going on. And our people, the asset science and technology is comparatively the second largest school here in Amity, Mumbai. So now we could capitalize these people, who would want to go for an FTech degree. They could sign up for these kind of quantum sciences, where we are not going to just give exclusively quantum sciences. So they will have a multidisciplinary quantum science or whatever the thing be. And those guys will also be involved with the project list, because our curriculum totally gives an exclusive 8 to 10 weeks of hands-on training on those places. We can just operate a syllabus in that way that we could also extend this hands-on training stuff. That could be also taken by a bilateral degree. So these are a couple of the things that I would want to say, that I will also just open it to Charate.
Because we'll have to go, but I have maybe two or three comments. One is completely outside of our conversation, but I see that you have an interest in space and.
Yes, it is. Yes.
And we do nothing.
Okay.
Nothing whatsoever. So I meant to say that, but I meant to say that I'm member of I'm a trustee of the Board of Trustees of the University of Sharjah in the United Arab Emirates.
Yes.
And I don't know if you collaborate with them, but they
No,
are
we don't.
very strong.
Okay.
And if you want, I could pass on your interest
Sure. That would be
to
really
my
good.
friends in Sharjah, because they have satellites and they really invest heavily in the center is really at the University of Sharjah. So I will make sure that we'll be in touch.
Sure. We are actually floating an exclusive degree on astrobiology. It's a master's
Okay.
on astrobiology.
Right.
Yeah, from this.
So maybe I will
academic year.
communicate with you or whoever, to make the link. The second thing is, and it's a very important message. If we want to have cooperation and collaboration, and Dr. Singh has heard me on that, we have to proceed in two ways. Top down, which is what we're doing. Okay, but if I say to a prof, you're going to work with Amity University, their answer will be, who the heck are you to tell me that? Okay, so I need to convince them. And so the success is a top-down approach, which we are working on, and a bottom-up approach. Okay, bottom-up approach will happen with mobility of students, but also with colleagues getting to know each other. And spending some time together and say, hey, let's do a research together. Let's do joint, we have co-tutel for PhDs, which you have the students is registered in both places, works on one paper, 2 supervisors, and they get 2 degrees at the end. So that's one of the models, but there are many models. But I would say, let's seize the occasions. If you organize an international conference in one of the areas where you want us to cooperate, let us know. And depending on the theme, we will send you a couple of scholars. And that's where, there will be traction. And that's what I want to have is traction.
Yeah, we'll certainly proceed on this part. All these three topics, I would request Professor Yaya or you to
That's it.
directly be in touch with me. You have my.
Perfect. With your
Just,
visit.
That's it.
we'll take it right away. That will fly right
That's it. My last point was to thank you.
away.
And thank you, Dr. Singh, who doesn't sleep because of us. He will become an insomniac, and we're sorry for that. And I hope to see you again. I hope to see you in Toronto at some point, dear colleague. But thank you and we're really sorry.
No, it's fine. No, I would request that if you would have a small, some sandwich kind of a thing,
Sandwich?
Yes.
Yeah, I don't think we'll have time, honestly. No, for lunch. We are running late and we need to go.
Really? Okay.
Yeah.
I'm
really,
afraid
yeah.
we need to
We
go.
have really
Uh,
planned a
Absolutely, yeah.
bigger
We
delegation.
had
so
no,
you're not-
we had lunch at Noida, so.
That was yesterday.
So that was yesterday. In fact,
Yeah.
Maybe we can-
afternoon
because-
traffic would not be
because-
that.
for you. Maybe we
Yeah.
can.
Professor Yaya, traffic would not be that much in the afternoon. You had observed it probably because of the office time in the morning.
No, he just checked on his Google map.
Google Map.
Yeah, and apparently, the bridge is different.
Oh,
That's problem.
Yes.
Dr. Gurinder is there, probably, we can wrap it up and then we can say hi to, let him go sleep.
Yes.
Yeah, absolutely. We can. I think we should wrap it up. Yeah. Thank you.
So, Dr. Gurinderji, thank you so much. So we'll take it forward and.
Yes, it's my pleasure, and have a very safe journey. I think that this visit was very memorable, and we have quite a few points on which we will follow up. Thank you, everyone.
Yeah.
Thank you so much.
I take this opportunity to thank all the senior dignitaries, including our Honorable Vice Chancellor, sir, our Group Vice Chancellor, Dr. Gurinder, sir, who had joined us from Toronto, our Professor Bhavna Kumar, who had joined us virtually, Dr. Manoj Sharma, who had again joined us from Noida office virtually, and my own senior dignitary team from Amity, Mumbai, and of course, Professor Fremont and Professor Yaya for making it possible to interact with you all today in person. Thank you so much,
And you
sir.
know what? If you misses this plane, I'm sending it back.
Yeah, thank you very much, Dr.
Thank you.
Gurinder. Thank you very
Thank
much.
you.
Yes,
Thank you so
bye.
much. Thank
Yeah.
you.
Thank you.
So let me just move on to my office so that we
Yeah.
can take a.
Okay, perfect.
Yes.
Okay. Yes, good.
Awesome.